Be on paper a mismatch, right? Cincinnati, even with the Open Cup loss, first in the East, leading in Supporter Shield, uncatchable, and NYCFC, 13th in the East, a disaster of a season. And we know about Cincinnati's record at home. The one caveat I'd throw in, Maxi Morales back for NYCFC. They're a different team with him on the field.
LAFC just 4 points back of St. Louis for the top spot in the West. Nigel, they are in Charlotte tonight.
Yep, LAFC, the one team that's really giving St. Louis a run for their money in the West there. They were on fantastic form against Colorado with an emphatic win. And you got Charlotte now, first game back since losing 4-0 to Inter Miami in the quarterfinals of the Leagues Cup. Getting to the quarterfinals, really great achievement by Charlotte. They're going to try and match LAFC today, and I think that's going to be a dangerous way to go.
All right, 13 matches on the night, 8 coming up shortly. Let's get to our key performers presented by RBC Wealth Management, proud partner of Major League Soccer. We got a man coming off a brace and an interview with us where he went shirt off for this one. Giacchini joined us. And he's a guy with a lot of confidence, but he was serious when he spoke to us.
And that's the reason, Liam, I picked him. I liked how he came across in that interview. He wasn't happy with just the brace. He thought he deserved more goals, or he thought better of himself to score more goals. Listen, this is a guy that's coming for someone we loved at the beginning of the season, João Klaus. You think they're going to be big boots to fill, and he's had no problem. He's got 10 goals on the season, 1 assist, and he's 3 away from the Golden Boot race. If I'm him, I'm looking up that table.
And speaking of that Golden Boot race, the man on top of that is the man who won it last year and won the MVP last year, Nigel.
And he's the MVP so far this season, Hani Mukhtar. Unbelievable player, really is. He does both sides of the ball's work. Getting forward, creating things, making things happen for this Nashville team, and also defensively. He has been a consistent performer from the start of this season, and there's nothing you can do but admire this young man. The talent he has, the vision, the technical ability to score goals, create goals, and take the burden of being Mr. Nashville FC.
He's looking to go back-to-back MVP. The player who was the most outstanding man during Leagues Cup was this man right there, Leo Messi.
Well, I'm going to go in a different direction. I can't wax poetic any more than we all have about his greatness, but what's on the back of his shirt? M-E-S-S-I. If you add N-G, Messi. So he is my guy. He runs less than any player I've ever seen and produces more than any other player I've seen.
Just go to break.
Go to break.
By the way, shout out anyone who's in New Jersey tonight who can tape those letters onto your Messi jersey. You're getting on this show. It's happening. We'll get you on camera, without a doubt. You can come and you can host with these 3 later on. All right, we'll be back in just a moment for kickoffs. welcome back. MLS 360. We're looking at the top goal scorers. We just saw Hani Mukhtar before, but check out Yorgos Giacomakis on 12 goals. He's only started 12 games. He's racked up the third most goals through his first 1,100 minutes in MLS history. Here's a guy, if he stays healthy, he could very well take home the Golden Boots. By the way, that Red Bulls game, which is going to be taking place across the river, if you're in New York City and you're in Times Square, you can just check it out there.
Nice.
Live viewing party.
Well,
That's where we should be.
Chef, can you get us over there?
yeah.
I'm going to be there soon.
Yeah. The chef limo showing up and just whisking you over there.
I'll be near there, Bradley. That's the best answer to that question. I'll be near there.
We see Messi up there, 10 goals, 6 assists through his first 8 games in all competitions for Inter Miami. Tonight, his first MLS contest. Let's go head-to-head, presented by GMC. And here's what we're looking at with Red Bulls and Inter Miami. 2 teams on the outside looking to get into playoff position. Obviously going to be much more difficult for Inter Miami. Average possession time. Inter Miami, a team that, because Messi, is going to want to have the ball a little bit more. Christina Uncle's here. We were talking about refereeing Messi. There's all different layers to all of this. But now, tonight, as we get set to head over New Jersey, we're going to see a Red Bull side start the game knowing that Messi is on the bench here tonight. So is Busquets.
This is going to be the toughest test for Miami so far. With those 2 big names you just mentioned on the bench, this is Red Bull's best chance now to start their playoff push. Well, I will say, if this game isn't in Red Bull hands, like a goal or 2 up by halftime or an hour, they bring on those 2 big names, could be trouble.
You have to be clinical. That's it. You have to be clinical. They don't have 2 of their most influential players starting. You have to take advantage of that. You're at home. The fans should hopefully get behind you. But when you get opportunities, you've got to try and put this game to bed as quickly as possible before they bring on Messi, Shep Messi?
I'm not available, but Red Bull, they have to stick to their DNA, like every team does. So missing those 2 big players for Inter Miami, Red Bull has to step it up, press hard, and play hard.
Do you think, as we take a look at the getting set for kickoff over New Jersey, we know how they want to play, and they want to press, they want to play Red Bulls soccer. Does it make it easier for them to go out and execute that plan, just with the sigh of relief that maybe Messi's not on the pitch right now?
100%. With Messi, you can't get the press wrong. Also with Busquets. Now you can go. Red Bull pride themselves on going all the way to the ball 100%. Sometimes you get that wrong. If they do get that wrong today, they don't have the players like Messi on the other side to punish them as much.
A key element of the game also you've got to remember is this: substitutions. Substitutions, the times you make those substitutions, the tactical element of this game is going to be vital for New York Red Bulls today.
And Bradley, you mentioned Busquets. I think that's just as critical, even more so than Messi. Messi, we know what he can do. Busquets can control the pace of the game from the midfield. That would have been very difficult for Red Bull.
Nigel, let me go back to you, because let's say it's 0-0. Let's say they're down a goal, second half. How early are you going to Messi and Busquets?
I'll go 70 minutes into the game. I'll give them time still, 70 minutes into the game. But again, on the other side, for New York Red Bulls, substitutions that you make, knowing that Messi and Busquets are coming on as well, is when you need to make substitutions, because those players that come on have to be fresh in the mindset, mentally strong and physically ready to go straight off, because then you can try and nullify, put pressure on the ball when Messi gets it, so he gets his head down. Don't give him time and space.
A couple teams that feel like locks to make the playoffs. Great matchup here. It's Atlanta, it's Nashville. We saw Nashville nearly beat Inter Miami in the Leagues Cup final. And then last week, Atlanta, a bit of a statement game out in Seattle. Big win for them. These 2 teams feel like they have eyes on top 4 spots in that home field, BWP.
And I don't blame them, Liam. But you mentioned it. The most impressive thing for me, for Atlanta, was we've watched them all season, and they were one of the best teams to watch because they would score 3 goals, but they will concede 3 goals.
Absolutely.
But that's not good for them. It's good for the neutral. Last week we saw them defending in banks of 4 when they had to, really compact, and then when they went on their break, they were devastated.
And that's the kind of game, Bradley, that can really jumpstart your season at the right time, right? How many people expected them to go to Seattle, come away with that victory? That's a huge
Statement game.
bump for them.
Yeah.
All right, Nigel, I've been asking you to pick teams to make the playoffs. I'll give you another pick right here. Golden Boot. Would you take Giacomakis or would you take Mukhtar at this point?
Mukhtar, I'll take Hani Mukhtar. Nashville have done well to add Sarge as a complementary piece to
That
it.
doesn't hurt him, though?
No, it doesn't. Hani Mukhtar plays with great intelligence. I don't think he really gets the credit for what he does in that Nashville side and how he controls the game. Obviously, the MLS legend striker has an opinion that he wants to go against me, so let's go.
Now, do you know what, Nigel? I felt for you because that's a difficult question. There's a lot of great attacking players on just that little table there we saw of the leaders. But we can't forget Denny Bouanga. There's days I watch Denny Bouanga, and on the days he's on form, it looks like he cannot be stopped.
Is he back, though? I thought he disappeared. I mean,
He just got back just before Leagues Cup.
Picked up a couple of assists on
Yeah.
Wednesday nights.
The one thing about that, though, Bradley, is Bouanga. You talk about LAFC, they've got a great front three because you've got Vela as well on that. Sepe Buku can play as well there. But with Nashville, that team truly is built around Hani Mukhtar. It's not. It's similar to what we're seeing with Inter Miami and Messi.
Yeah.
So that's why I will give the upper hand to Hani Mukhtar at Nashville.
Is the brilliant thing about St. Louis that you can't really say that they are dependent on one or two players because, let's face it, we've seen players go out, missing for a long time. Joe Klausman's 4 months, but they're still right on top. We'll get back to that in a second. Cincinnati, NYCFC. Cincinnati's had a rough week. They get crushed by Columbus at home to restart. Then they seem to have it. They are past Inter Miami. They are up 2-0, and they let that slip through their fingers. Are you concerned at all?
Not concerned about that. Cincinnati will be Cincinnati. We've seen them all season have a consistency, especially at home. The concerning thing for me in the game last week against Columbus was the front three. They didn't seem to be in tune together. And that's meant to be their strongest part because they're solid defending. But when they go forward, they're meant to take their chances and be clinical. And last week, I didn't see that.
yeah, but I think you're absolutely right, but that's a new front three for them, right, after the transfer window. And they don't have the same chemistry, the fluidity that they had before.
They need to get it quick, Chip.
Yep.
Business end of the season.
Well, it was Bupenza's the new player in. They had Brenner, Vasquez, and Acosta
Bang.
last year.
Oh, good save.
But there it is.
Is he on?
Yeah.
Speaking of the new GP.
We got goals
Goal.
today.
Do that celebration.
Celebration.
Oh,
I could have done that when I was 12.
I was just talking about them being a good team. That's a great goal.
We know they got this at home, but coming off of last week, this is exactly.
This is what they need.
Yeah.
But the thing about Cincinnati, for me, is the fact of, again, it's a team that's well coached, showed great consistency, which is why they're top of the league, and it's a style of play. That's what it is. It's something that's been implemented from the start of the season, and they've stuck to it. There's a system in place. We talk about the harsh loss to Inter Miami. They had great opportunities. In that extra time moment, they had great opportunities, but it was just poor passes in the final third and not being clinical.
Yeah, and Lucho Acosta, he's in the middle of everything,
Little
right?
magician. Little magician. If something's good happening for Cincinnati going forward, he's involved.
Cincinnati up early on NYCFC. Bupenza, his second goal in MLS play. DC United, Philadelphia Union. Philadelphia, haven't seen them since they lost to Inter Miami early on the road. And the press from Philadelphia getting after it.
Well done.
Clear your
was
lines.
eighth of the
Clear
season.
your lines.
Nigel, you know when you're
If you
here.
ever want to see a manager give you the hairdryer treatment at halftime, that's one of those situations right there. Plenty of times to clear your lines, just passing the ball very lethargically. Play forward, and that's why people say about playing forward movement. It's that positive moment. As soon as you turn back, that's just that negative impact, and you're asking for trouble. Just clear your lines. Bit of a bad touch, but still, as soon as you turn back again, you can't do that.
Yeah, but we talk about it. Managers always say, we're all going to make physical mistakes. But right here, this is a completely mental mistake. Terrible play.
And so early in the game. This is the part of the game where you're still earning the right to
Play
play.
it safe.
Yeah.
Play it safe.
But again, it wasn't even real an intense press by Philadelphia. It wasn't. No. It was just we're close to the ball. I'm pressuring you.
It's amazing, isn't it? No Busquets on the field. How's their balance? How's their space?
involved himself in the play without touching the ball. And fair to say that tonight, more than any other match, we're really going to see Tata Martino
Yes, we are.
at work.
Couldn't agree with you more. We're even seeing, look at Gomez playing as a right winger. I think that's a tactical move from Tata Martino to force Tolkin to defend deeper, to not allow him the freedom to bomb forward. Both Harper and Tolkin, when the Red Bulls are playing their way, they love to bomb forward. But now Tolkin all of a sudden expected Gomez to be through the middle. He's playing on the right. Right is similar to Kremaski against Nashville. Now all of a sudden Tolkin in the back of his mind thinking Gomez is there on the break. Little things like that help your team push the tempo in their favor without the greatest player in the world on the field.
That was interesting. We asked John Tolkin about being a left back playing against Lionel Messi, who usually takes up at least his starting spot on kind of the right side of the attack. And he did acknowledge he might not be able to go forward as much as he normally does. Might be more Cameron Harper going forward. Well, even without Lionel Messi in there to begin tonight, still maybe limiting John Tolkin's ability to push forward. Second straight start for Tomas Aviles. Started in the Open Cup semifinal, went 78 minutes against Cincinnati, his debut for Inter Miami. 19-year-old from Argentina. Farias leaving for Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba into the middle. Coronel will come and collect.
Well, I think Harper's given a yellow here in the late challenge on Jordi Alba. Because Jordi Alba delivers that ball, studs up from Harper coming through the left foot of Jordi Alba. Studs up here, late challenge, absolutely.
And a set piece now for Inter Miami, 10 minutes in. Jordi Alba is starting a sixth straight for Inter Miami. Debuted a little bit later than Lionel Messi and Sergio Busquets. Doesn't quite have the minutes on his legs that the duo does. It will be Robert Taylor to serve for Inter Miami. Goes short to Noah Allen. Allen clips it in, awkwardly off of Yearwood, and it's a corner for Inter Miami, the first of this match.
Well, and Jordi Alba has given Robert Taylor a little bit of an earful, because in that spot, any kind of delivery with pace in front of the goalkeeper allows for a little bit of confusion, deflection on goal. That almost played into the hands of the New York Red Bulls defending them.
Now Taylor will take the corner. This time drives it in. Edelman heads it away only as far as Jordi Alba. David Ruiz. Gonna still go and then gives it away. Harper for New York. Oh, nifty to get away from Gomez, but Ruiz there to recover. Facundo Farias. Over the head of Gomez.
For the 7 games in Leagues Cup, Inter Miami scored in the first 10 minutes. Good start from the New York Red Bulls, yet it's been more Inter Miami in possession than I expected. I expected a little bit more high pressure from the New York Red Bulls, making them uncomfortable. Inter Miami have not looked uncomfortable tonight.
You'd expect those possession stats given the tactical setups of these two teams. Yearwood takes it away. Luquinhas gets away from Aviles. Frankie Amaya, Alan Chapman plays advantage for New York. Edelman, Fernandez. Tolkin gives it away. Gets back on it, does really well to find Yearwood. Then the combination play. Tolkin's brought down. Red Bulls earn a set piece.
Well, Tolkin's going to have to pick and choose the right moments to get forward, but when he can, just very quick, uses space as well, technically very composed. But how about that 1-2 touch passing in and around the Inter Miami defenders, now drawing a dangerous set piece here for the New York Red Bulls.
Little bit after as well on John Tolkin. Stepped on by David Ruiz. Miami has been vulnerable off set pieces in MLS play, but we also saw it in Leagues Cup play. They allowed 5 goals, 5 non-penalty goals off set pieces in 7 games in Leagues Cup, the most of any team in the tournament. New York goes quick. Amaya floating, back post. Miller heads it away. Harper and Gomez chasing after it. Cameron Harper now serving it in. Again, it's Miller, but it's New York's first corner of the night.
Carlos Cornell has come about 80 yards from his goal to have a conversation with Omir Fernandez and Frankie Amaya. He must
I don't identify with Leo. I identify with Neymar. I'm an aggressive midfielder, always moving forward. So Leo is the idol of all Argentines. But as a player, he would compare himself to the Brazilian Neymar.
Well, it's a good thing his residence just changed to Miami, Florida. I'm not sure any Argentine should say that.
I think he waited until the visa came through.
I can promise you one thing, Messi's going to be in his ear about that one. Nah, he's good friends with Neymar. Everyone on Twitter is going to tell me otherwise right now. I'm just surprised that the line of confrontation from the New York Red Bulls is not as high.
They said they weren't going to compromise their principles at all. Troy Lesesne very adamant about focusing on themselves and doing what they do. As Reyes looked like he brought down Campana. Alan Chapman lets that play on. Too far for Farias. Troy Lesesne, New York's head coach, did talk about the first 15-20 minutes of this match. pointed out Cincinnati in the Open Cup, Nashville in the Leagues Cup final as teams that handled that well, that set the tone. He said other teams, maybe they weren't as engaged. Maybe they were a little bit distracted by the spectacle. Boom, all of a sudden down a goal. Early goals had been the staple of Inter Miami in the Lionel Messi era. So far, New York, with Messi and Busquets on the bench, have managed to avoid one to this point. Here is Luquinhas. Can New York score first? Luquinhas into Arroyo, out for another corner.
Well, the most difficult part for the New York Red Bulls in 2023 is putting the ball in the back of the net. All three designated players combine only 3 goals, 2 assists. And yet the underlying metrics will tell you they create a ton of chances.
Amaya floating it in. Campana heads it away. Now, the Red Bulls have scored just 23 goals so far this season. That's 4th fewest in MLS.
In 2023 is putting the ball in the back of the net. All 3 designated players combine only 3 goals, 2 assists. Aviles off balance, diving in, top of the 8.
Out for another corner.
Well, the most difficult part for the New York Red Bulls, back of the net. All 3 designated players combine only 3 goals, 2 assists. And yet the underlying
different type of organization at this point.
Well, think about it. We have Mike Pecky on our 360 countdown show, and that's when it all started. Thierry Henry, Rafa Marquez, Tim Cahill, supporter shield. Then it went on to Bradley Wright Phillips, Sasha Klushkin, Jesse Marsh. 13 straight years making the playoffs, and yet I think Red Bull fans would agree with me. It's just lacking that little bit of edge. But it's not a system thing. They create a ton of chances. It's just this version of this New York Red Bulls team. Too many square pegs and round holes right now.
Let's go down pitch side. Katie Witham, who is hearing from the Red Bulls bench.
Moments ago, Taylor mentioned he's surprised that New York's line isn't being held higher. Well, from what I've heard from the bench, they're surprised that it's not higher, too. In fact, everything I'm hearing is energy up, keep the pressure up. Lots of reminders coming from their head coach to hold that line higher. When they lose possession, they want immediate pressure. At times, it seems they feel like they're a step or two behind right now, guys.
Yeah, I see it, Katie. I can see it. I think Carlos Coronel, that's exactly why he came up, to relay the message to both Frankie Amaya and Omir Fernandez. If Katie's hearing that on the side, and I'm seeing it from up here, Jake, already just being, they're now not playing the game, they're playing the moment. And
Right.
Messi and Busquets aren't even on the field.
And look, Troy Lesesne was aware of that possibility coming into this game. He told us, we don't want to come out of this game, take a loss, and feel like we were passive, we weren't ourselves. He said that would be the biggest letdown of all. And he said, I think the group would be disappointed in me as a leader if that were what were to happen. So the messaging was certainly to be themselves heading into this game, as Drew Yearwood has called for a foul. maybe 20, now 23 minutes in, hasn't quite been up to what Troy Lesesne would have wanted from his
the
guys.
staples of the Red Bull system around the world, no matter where you are, is immediately when the ball turns over, can you put pressure on them? Can you turn them over? And then when you do, how quickly can you go forward? It's got to be under 7 seconds is their fundamental thought. Tonight we've seen a much more pragmatic approach, and yet they've been so dominant at home since 2010 in this building.
It's been a fortress, and that coincides with that playoff streak. 13 seasons in a row, the longest streak in MLS history, is an active streak. Below the playoff line now, work to do to make it 14. Luquinhas trying to get around Taylor. Luquinhas cuts it back, floats it to the back post. Nobody there for New York.
Well, there's going to be growing pains with some of these young players for Inter Miami. And Aviles is going through that on a yellow, so now he's not providing the cover for Taylor in behind. He's kind of stuck in no man's land. Immediately when this ball's played out, Arroyo's coming over, asking for a little bit more commitment from Aviles in those defensive one-on-one moments. They got to get Robert Taylor going forward a little bit more, defending too deep. Luquinhas doing a good job of forcing Robert Taylor to defend first and attack second.
Nice layoff from Gomez to Taylor. Allen to Jordi Alba, who will come forward. David Ruiz misplays it. Cameron Harper starting a 12th straight at right back. Spent 4 seasons with Celtic, mostly in their academy. Former U.S. international, turned down a scholarship to play at UCLA, play college ball to go join Celtic's academy. Now back in the U.S. with the Red Bulls and having his most sustained success in his 3rd season as a week in, week out starter at right back. Tolkien tried to float it to Amaya. It's given away. Ruiz. Jordi Alba. Facundo Farias. Gets away from Reyes at the byline, and then Reyes does enough to see it out for a goal kick.
Fantastic defending here from Reyes, just sliding over, understanding the space where he is. Farias has real pace. He's dynamic, good with both feet. It's never been about the potential for Reyes. It's always been about, can he be, for an entire season, the real leader on the back line. I think Troy Lesesne and the New York Red Bulls will tell you they found themselves a center back.
Formerly of Inter Miami, spent 2020 with Inter Miami. Came to New York the next year. An investigation found he should have been designated. A designated player, was not. Inter Miami also for Blaise Matuidi, sent under sanctions. And Reyes and the Red Bulls back line, and Sean Nealis will have another set piece to deal with.
Yeah, but great work there from Diego Gomez. What's the confusion here? Is he given a throw-in?
Yeah, it looked like it was.
So there's no foul on the tackle from Nealis. He's saying it's a throw-in, and yet I think Gomez is the one that kicked the ball out of bounds.
It'll be an Inter Miami throw in the end. Taylor Into Gomez. Arroyo. Gomez. A lot of room now. And there is a player down in the corner as a ton of confusion continuing on the pitch at Red Bull Arena. Alan Chapman, I believe, called a foul, and this now will be a set piece for Inter Miami.
Well, the studs were shown from Amaya, right? So he's coming through. I think the frustration is the play before that, whether or not it was a foul or not from Nealis on Gomez, but that one, I don't think there's any argument.
I think Miami also wouldn't have been upset to play advantage in that moment, but they're going to get a set piece out of this in the end.
So it was Robert Taylor on the other side with an in-swinging ball. Here it is, left-footed from Noah Allen.
19-year-old Noah Allen into a dangerous spot and eventually sent wide.
I don't mind this ball here. Just drive it low and hard on that near post. Facundo Farias getting near post. Arroyo, Kamal Miller, Campana just attacking the goal in front of Cornell. You have to remind the viewers, though, the New York Red Bulls have only given up this year 62 shots on goal.
The fewest of any team in MLS.
That's an unbelievable number. That's in what, 24 games?
Just over 2 a game, 2.5.
The problem is they're not scoring goals on the other end to make use of that.
4th fewest goals scored in MLS, and the 4th best goals against average in the league. And that's why they're still in it, and they're only 3 points below the playoff line. Campana, Jordi Alba into space for David Ruiz. It's a 3-on-3 if Miami go quick enough. Ruiz doesn't get it right, trying to play Campana through.
Yeah, but that's the next evolution for Ruiz and where he is. He's got to make the right pass in the right moment. Those are things that Busquets has been working with him. Tata Martino, very mobile, good sense into space, but he's got to make the right ball in the right time.
Manuel, nobody on the back post again from New York, and the offside flag then comes up.
Well, Manuel in his 2nd year from Brazil, that is extremely close. If that had turned into anything, I'm not sure Manuel's in an offside position. But last year in 360 minutes, he scored 2 goals. This year in 1,100 minutes, he's got 2 goals. Goals hard to come by for their number 9 up front.
Callender out of his box to head it forward to midfield. Harper cutting inside. Frankie Amaya. Yearwood, Edelman. Amaya steps away from Campana, back to Tolkien.
See, the thing is, they do have young players that can possess the ball in Amaya and Edelman. And so if they want to possess the ball a little bit more, albeit it's against their DNA and really who they are, they've got a couple young players that can do so.
Luquinhas' flag was down, and it did stay down. And Luquinhas couldn't get on the end of it. It's out for a goal kick.
What a great run this is from Luquinhas, because if you're going to play a high line and try to make it congested, see, Luquinhas in an offside position in that one. Manuel was not in the previous play, but good idea from Nealis. Your 2 center backs of the New York Red Bulls trying to play through Inter Miami can be tough at times. Why not play over the top? Good ball forward from Nealis.
Luquinhas, a designated player, attacker for New York, just 1 goal, 1 assist this year. Goals have been hard to come by for the Red Bulls. Luquinhas does really well, though, to win it back.
Campana's got to give Inter Miami a little bit more. I know he's coming off 120 minutes in the U.S. Open Cup semifinal, but Tata Martino begging for him to be a little bit more proactive with some of the direct play from either Robert Taylor or Aviles.
Edelman is fouled. We want Messi. Getting a little antsy, aren't they? There he is, Lionel Messi, as Joseph Martinez gives him a little smile. The other Inter Miami reserves begin warming up. Will we see them tonight? Will they make their Major League Soccer regular season debuts? Sold out Red Bull Arena. Yearwood battling with Taylor, or rather with Aviles. Now it's Taylor who will just dump it forward. Nealance towards Edelman. Gomez on it. Reyes sends it back. Luquinhas. Still Luquinhas. Promising for New York. Through for Yearwood. Yearwood cuts it back. Oh, it's missed. A sitter for Omar Fernandez. And he puts it wide.
That tells you exactly how 2023 has gone for the New York Red Bulls. Great ball forward from Luquinhas coming inside. Manuel comes near post. It pulls the defenders away. That has to be a goal at this level. Omar Fernandez and about the 26,000 plus in this building should be 1-0 New York Red Bulls.
Pressure from New York. Callender gets it forward to Harper. Harper, Amaya. Edelman tries to get it back to Amaya. Arroyo breaks it up. Campana. Farias might be through. Reyes chasing. All over him. And foul, free kick won by Miami.
At one point, Reyes was the next upcoming Jamison Olave, the big, strong, physical center back that's smart, that can defend in open space. Inter Miami were raving about Reyes, but they had to move on from him. How about that recovery run? Facundo Farias was by him by a step or two. Now the touch takes him away from it. Just fantastic open field defending from Reyes. Yeah, see, now it's Jordi Alba. I was surprised to see Noah Allen take the first one.
Big spot for a 19-year-old. Now the more experienced cultured left foot of Jordi Alba floating it in. Coronel punching it clear. Taylor. Here is Noah Allen. Gomez settles, scores! Messi loves it from the bench. The 20-year-old Diego Gomez with his first goal in pink, and Inter Miami take the lead in New York.
The composure here from Robert Taylor. Cornell deals with the first ball in. The second phase of defending a set piece. Deliver it wide. Everybody from the New York Red Bulls worried about pushing the line forward, but forgetting about the space behind them. Diego Gomez, first touch, second one in the back of the net. No Lionel Messi, no Busquets, no problem. Inter Miami 1, New York Red Bulls 0.
Tata Martino, Inter Miami's manager, gives Lionel Messi and Sergio Busquets a rest, starting them on the bench for the first time since July 21st. It does not matter. Inter Miami for an 8th time in their last 9 games, score first. Now Gomez into the middle. They're looking for a second. Jordi Alba. Miami will be patient as they send it back to the center backs. Now Robert Taylor. Alba trying to get behind Cameron Harper. Edelman misplayed it. Gomez turns out to Taylor. Red Bulls move towards Calendar. Now Taylor trying to get around Tolkien to throw for New York. Amaya loses it. Finally, Allen coming forward. Miami up numbers. Noah Allen straight up the middle. Taylor trying to get around Tolkien to throw for New York. Now in towards Campana. Campana settles, tries to turn. Amaya. And it's right at corner. Loses it. Allen coming forward. Miami up numbers. Noah Allen straight up the middle.
Out of nothing there. Allen has to play wide. Farias in a better spot. He gets in that spot.
Now in towards Campana. Campana settles, tries to turn.
Here.
And it's right at
just
corner.
pulling the defender in a bad spot. Good touch here, turning something out of nothing there. Allen has to play. In the Open Cup semifinals in a better spot. He gets in that spot. Now it takes him too wide. But how about Campana here? Inter Miami lead 1-0.
He did not score in the bad spot.
Good touch
Started
here.
the Leagues Cup opener, then off the bench in the next 6.
Massive 2 goals.
Started in the Open Cup on Wednesday in the semifinal of Brace, including one at the death of regulation to send it to extra time.
1-0.
He did not score in Leagues Cup. Gets the start again tonight with started the Leagues Cup opener, then off the bench in the next 6. Started in the Open Cup on Wednesday in the semifinal of Brace, including one at the death of regulation to send it to extra time. Gets the start again tonight. Tolkien. Joseph Martinez beginning on the right side. New York lose it. Win it right back.
Yeah, but see, that's better. That's how New York Red Bulls play. You lose the ball, immediately put pressure,
behind Harper.
Turn them over, now regain it and try to get forward.
Luquinhas isolated with Robert Taylor. Tolkien. Luquinhas over to the right side. New York lose it, win it right back. Fernandez
see, that's
off
better.
of Ruiz.
That's how New York Red Bulls play.
Allen Chapman gives it. Penalty for New York.
Turn them over, now regain it and try to get forward.
Luquinhas isolated with Robert Taylor.
Well, the debate here is where's the right arm of Ruiz. It's in his body, but he will
off of
turn
Ruiz.
his body.
Shouts for a handball.
And
Allen
the
Chapman gives
indication
it.
is that
Penalty
he
for New
moves
York.
the right shoulder into the play. That's what the referee sees. So when this ball strikes here, where's the right come into it? That's a difficult one. It's in his body, but that is extremely difficult for me. That's not a handball. And one, the indication is close with the proximity to the shot being taken. Two, that's what the arm's in a natural position. So when this ball strikes here, does he maybe come into it? That's a difficult one. That is extremely difficult for me. That's not a handball. VAR is going to have to determine close with the proximity to the shot being taken of the handball laws. The arm's in a natural position. Does he turn?
That's a tough look for me because I don't think
into it.
Ruiz really makes an indication in a play that's right
obvious,
on.
not a handball.
This is
That's
not
what VAR is
a
going to have
Alan
to
Chapman is
determine
going to the monitor. The video assistant
with the
referee Jeff
nuance
Gamble
of the handball laws,
calling Alan Chapman to the monitor for video review.
That's a tough look for me
I
because
think Jeff
I don't
Gamble,
think
Taylor, probably
Ruiz
seeing the same
really
thing
makes
in
an
Atlanta
indication in a play
the video
that's right
review
on.
headquarters
For me,
that you're
this is
seeing.
not a penalty.
what we don't even
Alan
know
Chapman
is
is
this ball
going
may
to
have
the
hit him in
monitor. The video
side.
assistant referee
Not
Jeff
even into
Gamble
the arm.
calling Alan
But I
Chapman
think
to the
turning
monitor
that
for
quickly,
video
I think
review.
that's difficult.
Quick
I think
check
Jeff
from
Gamble,
Alan
Taylor,
Chapman. No
probably
penalty
seeing the same
after
thing
video
in Atlanta
review. The video review headquarters that you're seeing here.
But
mean,
this
what
is
we
why
don't even know is this ball may
it
have
was
hit him in the
introduced. I was a
side.
fan of VAR. Not even into the arm.
It was
But I think
quick,
turning
it was
that
efficient,
quickly, I
and
think that's difficult.
the call in the end. Quick
The
check
correct one.
from
Hold on.
Alan Chapman.
Exactly.
No
Give me
penalty
the
after
correct
video
one.
review.
Now, the debate is always going to be, if it's clear and obvious, it
But
shouldn't
this is
take
why
longer
from
than
the
30 seconds.
moment
And
it was introduced,
all
all
of
of
us
us
watching a
VAR.
beautiful game around the world have seen many
It was
instances
quick,
where it has.
it was efficient, and
But that's why
the
VAR
call in
was
the end,
introduced, because
the
that
correct
initial
one.
call from Alan Chapman
Give me the
was the
correct
wrong
one.
one.
Now,
Right
the
call's
debate
made.
is always going to
Now,
be,
the question
if it's
is,
clear and obvious, it
this
shouldn't
should
take
be a
longer
corner,
than 30
no?
seconds. And
New
All
York
of us
is at the
watching a
least
beautiful
asking
game around
for the
world
ball.
have seen many
well, no,
instances
if the ball,
where
if
it
the ball
has.
is shot off
But that's why VAR
Ruiz,
was
where did the
introduced,
ball
because
end
that
up going?
initial
It didn't go
call
out for
from Alan Chapman was the wrong one, and the right
New
call's
York
made.
says we
Now,
should get the ball
question
back.
is, this should
Drake
be a
Callender
corner, no?
dumps it forward. Doesn't
New York
quite
is
at the least asking
it
for
back
the
to
ball.
New York. Well, no, if the ball is
David
shot,
Ruiz was initially
also,
shown a yellow card
Ruiz,
by
where
Alan
did the
Chapman
ball
for
end up
what he
going?
thought was the
It didn't go
handball
out
that
for
was
goal.
rescinded after the video review. And New York says, there will be a minimum 2 minutes of added time in this first half.
First half stoppage 45 minutes, my man, but finally we hear the Red Bull crowd.
It had been messy. The chants that were audible for the beginning of this half, for most of this half, and the Let's Go Red Bulls chants now strike up in first half stoppage time, which will begin with the Red Bulls corner.
The set piece is still an issue for Inter Miami. Big reason why Campana's in here. So now Taylor and Campana will defend that near post.
Do they still look so much better with Messi and Busquets on the
I'll
bench?
take D, all the above. Yeah. All the above.
All of the above. A positive first half for Inter Miami. Diego Gomez's first goal for Miami, the lone one of this half. And despite Lionel Messi and Sergio Busquets beginning this game on the bench, Inter Miami lead at halftime 1-0. Katie Witham with New York head coach Troy Lesesne.
Troy, what was your assessment of your side's first 45, and what do you have to change in the second?
Yeah, I thought we could play with a little bit more composure. I think we gave the ball away a little bit too easily, and when we pressed and we were together, I thought we disrupted their play, but we have to improve in both those areas if we're going to come back in this game.
Appreciate the time. Thank you very much.
Red Bulls find themselves trailing 1-0. Campana close to the spectacular. But Diego Gomez did get the goal for Miami. They lead 1-0 at the break. Kevin, Sasha, Mike, back when we return.
Make sure you keep your eyes on the road.
Early payday. Fee-free overdrafts. Easy credit building. When your money's good, you feel good. Chime, the #1 most loved banking app.
Those new tiles are falling right into place until you run out of, what are those called again? Oh, right. The Home Depot app is made for doing that doesn't miss a beat, so you can find what you need fast and keep things moving in the right direction. For doing that doesn't stop, download the Home Depot app. It's made for doing.
Soccer is amazing because not only is it at the stadiums, you see it on the streets.
We meet at random times, random hours, and random places just to play ball.
We'll get a ball out and we'll just start playing in the middle of the street. It's a multinational, multiracial.
It's like, you know, the global language of the world. It's like, I don't speak your language, but I speak soccer.
It's not just designed to look good. It's built to command attention. It's not just a comfortable interior. It's a quiet refuge. They're not just headlights. They light the way forward. The new fully electric Audi Q8 e-tron models.
Welcome to the Halftime Report presented by Audi. Gomez, the difference so far. Inter Miami leading the New York Red Bulls by 1-0 at the sold-out Red Bull Arena. Welcome here, pitchside. Delighted you are with us. Alongside Mike Pecky, Sasha Kleshin, I'm Kevin Egan. Well, as the goal went in, Mike, you said to me they deserve that. Why do Inter Miami deserve this lead?
Listen, to me, Inter Miami was the better team in the first half, okay? With all this talk about the press beforehand, the amount of times that Inter Miami was able to play through centrally, to bounce it out wide, to play back through centrally, they just didn't have the substance on the end of it. And that goal, to me, was a long time in the coming.
What I like about Inter Miami's play, though, was they didn't always play through the midfield. They had their moments where they had to play long, and Campana did a good job of battling physically with Reyes and Nealis, which ultimately led to the free kick that led to the goal. So this is a deserved lead for Inter Miami. Tata Martino will be very happy with the way that first half went.
But Troy Saints, New York Red Bulls did have opportunities. Omir Fernandez has been a killer, especially when it comes to games here against NYCFC. And tonight, he had a gilt-edged opportunity from close range.
A great play by Luquinhas to get this ball to the end line for Jerry Yearwood. And what a cutback it was. It was perfect. That's the exact spot you want to put the ball. And Fernandez just bluffs it.
What have we been talking about the whole hour before the show? The lack of ability to finish their chances. That right there is exactly the perfect example.
And a minute later, up we go, the other end. It was a needless free kick given by Andres Reyes with the foul, and Miami recycles possession. And Mike, you were critical of defending here.
Yes.
Time to track the ball.
Well, I mean, listen, for a pressing team, especially midfield to the final third, that's one thing. Inside your own box, to be able to control that ball, turn, and shoot is unforgivable.
And Troy Lesesne will be upset because it came off of a set piece.
Yep.
That's the one part of the game where you can control how you set up and how you defend.
Yes.
This was a potential handball, went to VAR, not called. I think it's the right call to not give a penalty here as we go into halftime. 1-0 lead for Inter Miami.
A perfect scenario for Tata Martino with Messi and Busquets, Joseph Martinez as well, ready to spring from the bench. Expected goal slightly in favor of Inter Miami. What else stands out to you, Sash?
It's the efficiency of Inter Miami, which has been their hallmark all Leagues Cup in the past 5 weeks. 3 shots, 2 on goal, but they get the goal. Inefficiency from the Red Bulls. 6 shots, only 1 on target. Not enough quality in the final third from the New York Red Bulls again tonight.
Well, Sasha, I listened to you on this very show after the Leagues Cup. Offside with Taylor Twellman, hosted by MLS Season Pass's lead analyst that's here tonight, welcoming athletes, coaches and executives from global professional soccer, as well as high-profile guests from the entertainment sphere. Offside will cover soccer in America, topics ranging from Messi's arrival to the US, national teams and Americans playing in divisions around the world. Listen and follow on Apple Podcasts. A penny for the thoughts of Lionel Messi right now, watching on and studying that first half. Will we see Leo Messi to start the second half? We'll find out in a moment. It's Miami that leads by a goal to nil.
How good does it feel to find not just what you need, but everything you love at prices you can afford? When sharing the love starts with quality ingredients. And when you can put joy on the table for 2 or a party of 10 for less. When savings come in every style. And when you can get even more perks on what you buy most. That's totally Target.
Starting a new chapter can be the most thrilling thing in the world. There's an abundance of reasons to get started. How far we take an idea is a question of willpower. Because progress
is a matter of character.
Even when things seem quieter, the urge to protect means staying on the lookout to help keep others from harm. At Pfizer, we're driven by this impulse. We've reached hundreds of millions of lives with our COVID-19 response, and we keep
Welcome back to the Halftime Report presented by Audi. We're live tonight, Red Bull Arena in Harrison, New Jersey. And it's Inter Miami leading by a goal to nil. Gomez from inside the area, striking for a first time for Inter Miami. On a very busy night around Major League Soccer, Kevin Egan thrilled to be alongside Sasha Kleshin and Mike Petke. And some scores rolling in here as we look to the top. We needed Ua to score goals for Philadelphia. He's on target tonight.
Ua gets the opener for Philadelphia Union as they're up 3-0 on the road against DC United, but Jack McGlynn on the score sheet as well, who is proving week in and week out he needs to be an every game starter for Philadelphia Union and Jim Curtin. Diego Rossi also on the score sheet for Columbus Crew, one of the best new signings this summer. Inbound transfer from Fenerbahce to the Columbus Crew, making the difference at home tonight as well.
Charlotte leading by a goal to nil. Ashley Westwood with the strike and a first for Xande Silva for Atlanta United, leading Nashville by a goal to nil. Well, the race to the Golden Boot is presented by Audi, the official vehicle of Major League Soccer. And isn't this fascinating, fellas? Mike, we have a race on our hands.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what you want to see, to be honest with you. But Mukhtar, to me, after last year's performance, I mean, he is incredible around that goal.
Giacomakis coming in from Atlanta as well. 12 goals in not that many starts. Can he catch fire as the season comes to a close to win that Golden Boot? He's the dark horse, but I think he's got it.
You think Messi can enter this race?
Oh, we'll see.
This Messi's Major League Soccer debut, if he appears here this evening. Now, fellas, I gotta wonder, what's Messi and Busquets thinking as they watch that first half unfold?
If I'm Messi, specifically Messi, I'm thinking, why didn't I force myself to play this game after watching the opportunity he could have had? I was talking to you before about this. Forget about Messi for a second. Taylor and Martinez, okay? Even they could have got something out of this. Messi's sitting here, he's analyzing like he does when he's on the field. Him and Busquets are talking about things they see, spaces they could exploit. So if they do get on the field, they're ready, they're on the same page.
Totally agree. These two players are studying the game. We watched them. We kept an eye on these two players all half. They're watching the game intently. I'm sure Busquets is figuring out the spaces, and Messi is seeing where he can hurt this Red Bulls team in the second half. I wouldn't be surprised to see both of these players come in and really start to dominate this game, because there are spaces on the counterattack as Red Bulls press. Cameron Harper from right back on a yellow card is pushing so high. All those attacks from Miami are coming down that left side with Jordi Alba. Watch for the cut back to Messi.
Massive halftime team talk for Troy Lesesne and the New York Red Bulls in order to get back in this game. Everybody watching around the world, especially greetings to those watching in Times Square, downtown New York. Isn't that amazing? Apple TV on the big screen as Miami lead by a goal to nil.
Finding the right hotel just got easier. Compare and book on the app with Hotels.com.
Bienvenida a casa.
Welcome
Bienvenida a casa. Every time.
Rápido.
Rápido. Eres Ferrocarril. ¿Me entiendes? Recuérdame. Bienvenida a casa. Hola, abuela. Bienvenida a casa. Diseño a tu,
Miguel, ¿recámara?
Sí.
Venga, we'll speak a lot of Spanish.
Connecting changes everything. AT&T.
Play So Rare MLB, a free revolutionary fantasy game and marketplace that transforms fans into general managers. Build your team with ownable digital player cards. Collect, buy, sell, and trade to optimize your lineup. Compete against So Rare managers from around the world. Climb leaderboards and advance to elite competitions. Based on your player's performance on the field, win rewards like game tickets, merch, and much more. Draft your set of free cards now at SoRare.com/MLB.
I hope y'all ready. I hope y'all ready. I hope y'all ready. Yeah, we still lit.
Welcome back to New York. We're just on the other side of the Hudson River from Manhattan. We're in Harrison, New Jersey at Red Bull Arena, where Inter Miami have a 1-0 lead as we get ready to begin the second half. Inter Miami and the New York Red Bulls. This is the Supporter Cam, brought to you by Hotels.com. Find your perfect somewhere on the Hotels.com app. The supporters here at Red Bull Arena trying to help their team on to becoming the first to defeat Inter Miami in the Lionel Messi era. It's a sold-out Red Bull Arena. There is a lot of pink. There are a lot of Lionel Messi, Inter Miami supporters here at Red Bull Arena tonight. But towards the end of that half, I think, Taylor, we finally heard the Red Bull supporters have their voice lifted, have their voice heard. Tom Barlow is going to enter for the New York Red Bulls to begin the second half, which once again, this is becoming a tradition on the road. Inter Miami is making the Red Bulls wait. Peter Stroud also coming on for the Red Bulls, who make 2 changes at the half. We've seen this in every away game. The home team's out, they're ready. Meanwhile, Inter Miami takes their time coming out of the locker room as Jordi Alba and Drake Callender lead the team in pink through the red and onto the pitch here at Red Bull Arena. Lionel Messi beginning this match on the bench for Inter Miami. Sergio Busquets as well, after starting 7 in a row. This is Inter Miami's 9th match in 36 days since Lionel Messi joined the team, and their 7th in 25 days since the knockout round of the Leagues Cup began. Messi and Busquets take their seats again on the bench to begin the second half. Will we see them make their Major League Soccer regular season debuts tonight? The second half is underway at Red Bull Arena, Inter Miami. And the New York Red Bulls, Inter Miami leading 1-0 as we start the second half. Red Bulls in their 3rd kits, the freestyle kits. Miami in all pink immediately. Tom Barlow trying to make an impact after coming into the match. Luquinhas now. Miller fends it well. Taylor tries to send it forward. Still maybe there for New York. Edelman. Over to John Tolkin. New York will be slightly uncharacteristically patient in this moment as Luquinhas is not fouled. Alan Chapman says play on. Red Bulls win it right back though. Amaya to Tolkin. Aviles steps in. Arroyo knocks it forward. Campana flicking it on. Farias chasing Reyes, who goes back to Coronel. Campana pressuring Coronel, who gets it away. Taylor, the 2 changes for New York. Barlow, Stroud on, Manuel Yearwood off. What does that do to change the Red Bulls?
I think energy. I think more proactive than reactive. Too much of that was from the New York Red Bulls. Barlow's going to run. He's going to put pressure on the back line of Inter Miami.
Already making an impact. Fernandez. They just don't get it right. A microcosm of this season for the Red Bulls attack.
But look at the energy. Already Barlow, Stroud, New York Red Bulls looking completely different than the first 45.
Cameron Harper over Barlow. Callender will catch.
That's why I was as perplexed as anyone in that first 45. If there's one thing that the New York Red Bulls are going to do is be on the front foot, go for it, knowing that this man's going to turn the heads of everyone in the building in the second half. But the first 45, they looked like a deer in headlights, and there was no reason to be that because the system is bigger than any part of this 11 and of this roster. Much better start to this second half from Troy Lesesne and the New York Red Bulls.
And they will see whether out of the corner of their collective eye, Lionel Messi and Sergio Busquets up to warm up as this second half gets underway. He's only come off the bench once for Inter Miami. It was on his debut against Cruz Azul. Has started 7 in a row since.
He looked tired against Cincinnati.
Can you blame him?
So did Busquets. No, absolutely not. And so I feel for the fans that are in this building that have paid their hard-earned money to see this. But the truth of it is Miami has to protect him sometimes from himself, even though Tata Martino will tell me there's only one player in his life that tells him when he plays and when he doesn't. He's wearing number 10 tonight in pink.
He's earned that.
But you got to be smart. You got to recognize what the entire project is. Here you are in the 49th minute. You've got a 1-goal lead on the road. So far, so good from Inter Miami. But there's about 26 of the 28,000 in the building right now screaming, "We want Messi."
Cameron Harper into the middle. Miller sends it back behind his own goal, and it will be a corner for the Red Bulls in the 50th minute.
So much better from the New York Red Bulls on the front foot. We've seen more from Harper. We've seen more from the 2 subs and Barlow and Stroud than anything we saw in the first half. And yet they keep getting it wrong at the worst times. Omir Fernandez easily should have a goal and assist in 50 minutes.
And Instead, it's Diego Gomez, the lone goal of this match for Miami, who lead 1-0. Tolkin takes the Red Bulls corner. That was a dangerous ball, and he'll get to do it again.
Miami just doesn't look sure of themselves defending set pieces. Campana and Kamal Miller, the most important players in this moment.
Tolkin this time to the back post. Callender pushing it over. Great save by Drake Callender off the head of Omar Fernandez.
It's a great idea from John Tolkin. He saw Campana and Kamal Miller move to the near post, so deliver it to the back post. Great header here. Little touch from Drake Callender. Again, coming up huge on Omar Fernandez.
He was spectacular in Leagues Cup, Drake Callender. Goalkeeper of the tournament. Picking up that form in MLS play as Tolkin again sends it in. Clearance only as far as Harper. Campana knocks it down. Farias back to Arroyo. Knocks it forward. Edelman there for New York. Stroud winning it back for the Red Bulls. Daniel Edelman, the captain of the U.S. Under-20 team at the Under-20 World Cup in Argentina this year. Fernandez gets away from Allen, and then Arroyo takes that away clean. Noah Allen stepping away from Edelman. Farias.
How good is that from Noah Allen? Tired legs on Jordi Alba. He's going to have to put in the work on this left side, providing that cover and balance, but then can it be an outlet out of that pressure? The pressure really causing problems for Miami at the start of this second half.
Let's go down to the pitch. Katie with him.
Well, Taylor, you just mentioned tired legs on Jordi Alba, and that's exactly what Lionel Messi and Sergio Busquets had to admit to their manager, Tata Martino. Heavy legs. That's why they started on the bench. It's been interesting being on the sideline, watching those two guys in particular in the first half on the bench, glued to the action, sitting on the edge. It looked painful for them not to be on the field, itching to be in, and the biggest smile on Lionel Messi's face as he stood up and ran down, or walked at a faster pace to start warming up. The reception he got, and while he's been down there warming, guys, every minute he can, he is in on this action on the field.
And there is no doubt he is engaged. He is happy. He said so himself in many interviews a week and a half ago. And you know he is most happy on the pitch. Someone who does not like to sit on the bench. Luquinhas now for New York. From distance, Callender will make the save on Daniel Edelman.
Well, New York Red Bull fans are wondering, why didn't this start at 7:39 Eastern time tonight? On the front foot, put pressure on a tired team, on a squad that's been rotated, unsure of themselves collectively at times. This is the New York Red Bulls I expected to see in the first half. Now we've got it at the beginning of the second half. Miami looking a little uncomfortable early on here.
Is it imperative, essential, that New York get a goal before Lionel Messi comes into this game?
The obvious answer is yes. I don't know if Messi's coming into this game unless New York Red Bulls ask a few more questions of this back line. Drake Callender has to make a few more saves. I think Tata Martino's in this predicament. Do I play Messi for 20-plus minutes tonight, or do I let the game dictate whether or not I play him? Either way, the New York Red Bulls play the game. You're down 1-0. Get the next goal. Otherwise, this one's out of hand. I just hope the 28,000 in this building didn't hear me say he may not play.
They'd be pretty upset with your line. Is the chance of "we want Messi" continue from Red Bull Arena. Campana gets it wrong, trying to find Gomez. Luquinhas still going, and Alan Chapman finally brings it back for the foul.
You know, the more I watch Luquinhas, I'm just curious why he doesn't play more in the middle. There's a dynamism to him that's hard to replicate with anyone else with the New York Red Bulls. And when you play him wide left, he favors his right foot. I get that, so he's coming inside. Why not play him almost as a second forward underneath?
He was the midfielder of the season in Poland in the 2020-2021 year, calendar year for that league. So he certainly is a player with a big ability in the attack. The Red Bulls continue to ask questions of Miami.
Harper's done a good job in this second half of trying to force Jordi Alba to defend. It's now push Kamal Miller wide left, providing that cover and balance. We've seen very little from Tolkin getting forward, but Harper in this second half having a huge impact on the attack of the New York Red Bulls.
Again, the Red Bulls win it right back. Stroud is brought down. Alan Chapman says play on. Miami trying to find Campana behind. Reyes is able to get it away in the end, and Edelman helps it forward. Fernandez chesting it over to Barlow. Robert Taylor read that well. Sent forward towards Tolkin. Aviles there. Oh, what a tackle from John Tolkin. Can New York take advantage? Tolkin floating it in. Allen heading it away only as far as Luquinhas. Edelman clipping it towards Barlow. Barlow, what a save! Drake Callender! He does it again for Inter Miami. And now the break on. Jordi Alba, big ball forward. Farias with Campana in the middle. Campana the back heel. Jordi Alba keeps it in play momentarily. And out for a goal kick.
What a big time save that was from Drake Callender, but the New York Red Bulls are all over Inter Miami at the moment. And Tata Martino and his staff looking at that, seeing that. And to my surprise, DeAndre Yedlin, Sergio Busquets, Lionel Messi are being brought all over from all indications to come into this game.
Farias, the step over, rather it's Gomez the step over, brought down. Alan Chapman says play on. Well, we will see Lionel Messi in New York tonight. In the bright lights, the biggest city in the United States. Just across the river from Manhattan, from Times Square, Lionel Messi set to make his Major League Soccer regular season debut. Cameron Harper for New York. Cutting it back away from Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba does well to recover and allow Noah Allen to sweep it forward. Amaya. Tolkin. Tolkin to the back post. Jordi Alba concedes the corner.
It's truly amazing. Cruz Azul, all indications were 15, 20 minutes. How many minutes did he play?
Yeah, it was about this much.
10 to 15. Yep. Busquets barely even trained yesterday, if at all.
You said it. He makes the decision, doesn't he?
Well, and I think Tata knows that New York's all over him, so he's bringing in three of his most veteran players.
Tolkin's corner bounces around, out for a goal kick. And for the second time in his Inter Miami career, Lionel Messi will come on as a substitute. There's DeAndre Yedlin, who had started 8 in a row since July 21st, since the beginning of Leagues Cup. He was one of 4 players to do so. Kamal Miller and Drake Callender now the only players on Miami that have started all 9 matches since that Leagues Cup opener. Sergei Krivtsov, the other who had started 8, not even in the team today, getting a rest, but Lionel Messi, 10 goals, 3 assists in 8 games. His scoring streak broken on Wednesday in the U.S. Open Cup semifinal. He just had 2 assists in that game to lead Miami. Now here he is on the ball in New York for the first time tonight. Reyes read that well. That is a corner. Noah Allen let it run out, but it came off a Miami player initially. First time Lionel Messi came off the bench for Miami against Cruz Azul. Cruz Azul actually scored pretty much right after Messi came on to make it 1-1. Can the Red Bulls do the same? Flicked on and then cleared. Not out of danger and just wide from Amaya.
Well, you can feel the energy of the building completely change. The expectation change, but some of that is because the New York Red Bulls have been on the front foot in this second half. Troy Lesesne and his staff going into that locker room, making sure that everyone understands the principles of who the New York Red Bulls are. That's being on the front foot, making Miami turn the ball over in their defensive third, and then immediately trying to find an opportunity off that play.
Miami has had 2 wonderful opportunities in this match. Homer Fernandez, basically a sitter that he put wide. Tom Barlow in on Drake Callender, who made a spectacular save. Miami, though, the 1 goal through Diego Gomez. It's been the story of New York's season, underperforming the chances they create. Over 8 fewer goals scored than their expected goal total on the year. The 3rd worst team at underperforming their expected goals in MLS this season. Harper gets around Jordi Alba. Callender catches.
And all of that is a way of saying what? They struggle in the final third.
Yep.
Final decision, final ball. Just lacking the composure, lacking the right touch. But that's where Troy Lesesne or any manager for that matter would say it's not the system. The players are being given opportunities, they're just not taking them.
So if it's not the system, it's the players? Is that the conclusion?
Absolutely, and that's on the front office and Red Bull Global to fix that situation. You've got to go out and find the right players for this system, because the system so far analytically has shown you that it's providing opportunities for success. I mean, Jake, you've only got 3 goals, 2 assists from your designated players combined.
Leading scorer, Frankie Amaya, 4 goals in MLS play. And he scored those 4 goals in the 5 MLS games before Leagues Cup. Their expected goals against, it makes for a team that is 3rd best in MLS in expected goal differential, but they're just 21st of 29 heading into this weekend total points. It's been the problem for New York and Troy Lesesne this season. Here's somebody they hope can make a change in the goal scoring category. Corey Burke will come on for Frankie Amaya. It's a striker for a midfielder. Burke just 2 goals this year, 7 a year ago in Philadelphia. Jamaican international Corey Burke coming on to try to help New York find a goal. Messi slides it to Arroyo, leaves it for Messi, gets it over to Jordi Alba, back to Messi. Jordi Alba coming forward, was looking for Messi, and Nealis was there for New York. The last time Lionel Messi came on as a sub in this building in Red Bull Arena was 11 months ago for Argentina in a friendly against Jamaica. He scored 2 goals off the bench. Argentina won 3-0. Here's Messi. Gomez. Farias. DeAndre Yedlin. Messi. Tries to get it into Farias. Reyes is there. Busquets. Messi. Settling. Can he get on it? It might still be there for him, and Sean Nealis defended it well in the end.
Just floating into those spaces that ask questions of any center back partnership. There's just conversation about Messi walking and all the analytics, but he's constantly moving. He's not running around with his head cut off. He's just constantly trying to put you in a bad spot. But the moment you get caught ball watching, he's going the other way. Look at that goal in the Leagues Cup final against Nashville. For 34 seconds, he stood at midfield on the sideline next to Tata Martino. And 18 seconds later, he scores one of the best goals you'll ever see.
Here he is. Farias. Back heel towards Messi. Broken up by Harper. Arroyo on it. All that walking, it is intentional. It is done with a purpose.
You know when you watch toddlers play the game, and they're always just little bunched up going around?
I do.
And then you watch those toddlers play, and there's always one player, he or she, hanging out, waiting for the ball to pop out. Messi's made one heck of a career doing that for 36 years, huh? 817 goals later.
He's probably doing the same thing at Grandoli in his early days in Rosario. Jordi Alba. Back to Farias. There's space now for Miami behind Messi.
But in all seriousness, I don't say that jokingly. There is something to that. David Ruiz before the Leagues Cup final. What's the advice that Messi's given you since he's come here? He said, walk more. Walk more. The game will come to you. The ball will come to you.
Can see the game better, huh? Don't know if there's anybody that sees it better than Lionel Messi.
I'll tell you right now, walking did nothing for my career.
That wasn't a staple of your game, was it? Callender outside of his box for a second time tonight to head it forward. Marquinhos draws the foul taken down by Busquets. The night on the bench. Came on in the 60th minute. Lionel Messi with Miami up 1-0. John Tolkien floats it into the box. Miller heads it away. Harper. Busquets knows where Messi is at all times. One touch to him now. Yedlin towards Farias. Tolkin gets there first. Tata Martino will make his 4th change of the night. He'll bring off Facundo Farias and he'll bring on Benjamin Cremaschi. The 20-year-old Farias out for the 18-year-old Cremaschi. For more on the 18-year-old from Miami, down to the pitch to Katie Witham.
I thought it was interesting, Benja Cremaschi focusing in on the difference he sees within himself just in the last 3-4 weeks of play. He said, not only do I know my role, but I understand what Tata wants. He said, but also I'm looking at the game. I'm reading it in a completely different way. I'm seeing things now that I never saw before. He told me it was almost like putting on new glasses and seeing clearly for the first time. These little spaces and pockets he can get into.
Came off the bench on Wednesday in the Open Cup. An assist on Joseph Martinez's go-ahead goal in stoppage time to make it 3-2. Cincinnati would level that match. Penalty shootout for the 2nd time in a few weeks. Cremaschi makes the 5th and final penalty for Miami. What have you seen, Taylor, from Benjamin Cremaschi now that he's playing alongside Lionel Messi and Sergio Busquets?
The willingness and ability to learn, to make mistakes and then grow. Cruz Azul was one of the worst games you'll ever see. Then the next game, immediately having one of the best games. For a young player to have the mental fortitude, but also the accountability to raise your hand and say, listen, I wasn't good enough, I'll be better. I want young players like that on my team, and that bodes well for his career. But also some real stones, taking game-winning penalties in those situations, coming off the bench against FC Dallas.
He has dual eligibility, the United States and Argentina. Gomez is down for Miami.
I think Tata Martino's doing a hard sell on Argentina right now with Benji Cremaschi.
From Key Biscayne, Florida, but an Argentinian family. Harper going through Gomez. Jordi Alba. Gomez back to Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba cutting it back. That was read well by New York. Jordi Alba trying to sneak up behind Andres Reyes. Got the heads up. Barlow leaves for Edelman. Over to Tolkin. Fernandez. Harper. Busquets pokes it away. Harper back on it. That gets around Busquets this time. Harper takes a deflection. Fernandez. Busquets brings it down. Makes its way to Stroud. Harper again. All the way back to Reyes. Edelman, big switch. Tails away and out. Another change now for the Red Bulls, and it will be a debut for Jorge Hurtado, 19-year-old from Colombia, on loan from Watford through the end of this season. Will make his first appearance in New York. Just got into town on Tuesday. On Saturday, he's brought on to try to save things for the Red Bulls. Fernandez, the player out. Third change of the game from Troy Lesesne. make that the fourth change from Lassane. So both Lassane and Tata Martino have one substitution left tonight. Busquets into Gomez, as well to find Arroyo. Now Messi. Yedlin. Messi leaves for Busquets. Jordi Alba. Diego Gomez turns away from Reyes. Back to Jordi Alba. Oh, cuts around Hurtado. Switch to Yedlin, who has a ton of time. Yedlin, Kremaski tried to flick it on. Clearance only as far as Arroyo. Kremaski. Busquets. Burke took it away from behind momentarily, and then Miami back on it. Cameron Harper tries to get Burke behind. It comes off Allen. Callender, maybe being careful about using his hands, decides to head it out for a throw.
Well, that's the thing Kamal Miller's got to be worried a little bit about. Is now Corey Burke's a completely different element to this Red Bull attack, so he's going to be vertical. He's good in the air. Both center backs now having to deal with both Barlow and Burke, so Noah Allen's going to be challenged. I wouldn't be shocked if Busquets maybe at times drops in a little deeper to defend, because the last thing you want is Noah Allen trying to have to deal with a ball being whipped in with Burke or Barlow getting on the end of it.
Red Bulls will have a corner. They trail 1-0 in the 80th minute. Ninth corner of the night. Both of these teams in the Eastern Conference playoff hunt. Tolkien floats it in. Miami able to head it clear. Messi does enough. Arroyo forward to Messi. Jordi Alba had to hold his run. Messi looking for Arroyo. Cornell outside of his area. Sends it forward and out for a throw. Well, both of these teams return to MLS action on Wednesday. The Red Bulls travel up to Foxborough to face the New England Revolution at 7:30 Eastern, and Inter Miami returns home for a rematch of the Leagues Cup final versus Nashville SC. Get tickets to that match at MLSsoccer.com/tickets, or watch both matches right here on MLS Season Pass on Apple TV. Busquets tries to play Messi through. It's broken up. This is the first of 12 regular season MLS matches for Inter Miami before the end of the year. They're 14 points from the playoff line in last place in the East entering this game. Unbeaten in 8 since Lionel Messi, Sergio Busquets debuted in the Leagues Cup. It would be an improbable run to the playoffs. Certainly, though, not out of the question for this Miami team that has not been beat with Lionel Messi and Sergio Busquets on the roster.
And especially with how many of those 12 are against Eastern Conference opponents?
Most of them.
9, right?
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken. So games like tonight become 6-pointers. I mean, the Red Bulls are 3 points out of a playoff spot, so that tying goal becomes massive for the New York Red Bulls. The problem is, what I'm saying is scoring goals, and that's the biggest issue for this New York Red Bulls team.
This is one of the teams that Inter Miami would have to jump over, in theory. to make the playoffs. For the Red Bulls, Miami is one of the teams they'd have to hold off while also rising up the table. A true six-pointer tonight in the Eastern Conference playoff race. And thanks to Diego Gomez in the 37th minute before Messi and Busquets entered this game, it is Miami 1, it is Red Bulls 0, and Troy Lesesne trying to keep his team in it after an unforced error just gives it away for a throw. They have had their chances. They've not been able to finish them. And it's been the story of New York's season. And it's been the story of this game tonight. Busquets able to get it over to Yedlin. Messi carrying forward. Still Messi. Tried to get it to Yedlin. Tolkin does well to break it up.
It's amazing how he still glides by defenders, isn't it?
His whole career, even at 36 years old, that change of speed. It's been unstoppable, right, for 2 decades.
But to do it since you were 17, to do it with all the pressure in the world of your country, your club, on your shoulders, to consistently be available. I mean, that's the one thing that, when I talk about Messi in his career, in the games he has started throughout his entire career, he's only been subbed out of the game, Jake, less than 8% of the time.
He loves to play.
But you got to be available. You got to be available. You got to be engaged to do that.
Final 2 changes. Robbie Robinson coming on for Diego Gomez. Wiki Carmona coming on as well. And it's Diego Gomez in the 37th minute, the lone goal of this match.
Yeah, I just love how Diego Gomez staying active, but this is more about the New York Red Bulls not understanding that the second phase of defending that set piece from Inter Miami, you got to push the line, but you got to pick up runners. Diego Gomez wide open with a composed finish.
Wiki Carmona on, Cameron Harper off, the final change for Troy Lesesne in New York. Edelman, Luquinhas, Nealis, Hurtado, Edelman to Tolkin. Chance to cross off of Yedlin. Reyes, Edelman to Luquinhas. Over to Carmona. Around Robinson. Back over to Tolkin. Tolkin off of Kremaski, and Callender will catch. Five minutes plus stoppage time for New York to try to get something out of this game. Barlow gives it away. Robinson. Hurtado steps on Robbie Robinson, takes off his shoe, and he's called for the foul. Miller to Messi. Jordi Alba. Forward and around and away from Carmona, floating into the back post. An important touch from Coronel with Robinson lurking. Messi in his sweet spot. Chooses not to have a go yet. Draws a set piece. He'll have one now.
How about the first ball here from Busquets? Ridiculous. Eyes on the back of his head. That's a difficult one there. I think Reyes gets the ball here. Now the question is he pulled the right arm right there is what the referee sees. Unnecessary from Reyes because he won the ball initially. 19 yards out. If you're Carlos Coronel, how many do you put on the wall here?
Can you put 10? He's already scored 2 free kicks in 8 games for Inter Miami.
I mean, honestly, I would have Nealis be on that post behind the wall.
He's going to be in the wall instead. There's player Dan Edelman behind the wall laying down. Can Messi do it again to seal a first Major League Soccer regular season victory? Messi clipping it into the wall. The wall leaps and does its job and prevents what at times has felt inevitable. Kramaski back to Yedlin. Gets away from Burke. Finds Messi. Robinson leaves. Busquets over to Jordi Alba. What a touch! Messi to his right. He keeps it on his left, of course. Oh, what a ball to Kramaski! Oh! And to Messi! He could not leave New York without a goal. Number 11 in Miami, and his first official Major League Soccer goal seals 3 points for Inter Miami.
Listen, I get the free kicks and all the drama around the free kicks that he scored in Leagues Cup. This is one of the most ridiculous balls I've ever seen. Look at that ball into Kramaski, and all the Red Bull defenders caught ball watching, worried about the ball in behind. Just an absolute show. Vision, pace of pass, continuously running, finishing the play off. Lionel Messi in Leagues Cup put on a show, and in 35 minutes tonight just gave New York City one of the best goals you will ever see. What a privilege to call this man in Major League Soccer. My word.
He always delivers. He always gives the people what they want. In the Big Apple, the player for the big moment has another one. An important one tonight, an important one for Inter Miami in the playoff race. Could they, can they, come from 14 points below the playoff line with 12 games to go, come back from that hole and make the playoffs? John Tolkien trying to make this interesting. Wins a corner. It will be very difficult for Inter Miami to do that. They will need to be almost perfect through their final 12 games. Starting tonight with their world superstar on the bench. Step 1 of 12 will be a success for Inter Miami.
He defies human nature. anyone with a half a brain did not expect Lionel Messi to play tonight, let alone 35 minutes. When all indications, when reports from Tata Martino and his PR company saying highly doubtful, at 10 a.m. this morning, all the news outlets reported highly doubtful Lionel Messi makes his debut today in MLS, regular season. And yet that was one of the best goals I've ever seen.
There's nowhere where he is happier, it seems, than doing what he is doing now, playing this game that he loves.
I mean, this is a joke. Out of your screen, behind 5 defenders, is vision that nobody else sees. And everyone on New York was so surprised that he pulled it off, they forgot about tracking the run.
Robinson goes down. Alan Chapman says no penalty. What a moment. What a goal from Lionel Messi and Inter Miami.
I mean, the 2 assists he had the other night in Cincinnati showed his quality, showed his vision. 818 career goals, I get all that. But the 2 balls he delivered, one off his set piece, the other one in the final moments of that game to put it on top of Campana's head. But tonight, to see that run from Kremaski, that in and of itself is the definition of world class.
Messi does it. Miami does it. Their first match in Major League Soccer league play. Same result. Another win for Messi and Miami. 2-0 tonight over New York Red Bulls, thanks to Lionel Messi's first Major League Soccer goal.
Nine games played, 11 goals scored.
Not bad.
The leading goal scorer for Inter Miami in 2023 in all competitions is wearing number 10.
Magic. Brilliance. Pick your adjective, your superlative. They all work. It is working for Inter Miami. Leagues Cup champions, U.S. Open Cup finalists, and now a little bit closer to that playoff line with 11 games to go in the regular season. We started tonight, Taylor, by asking the question, can Inter Miami make the playoffs? Does tonight change your answer?
No, the answer is absolutely 100% they can. Will they? Still a long way to go. But to do that, I think it's understated that Messi understands the full responsibility that all of these fans around the world come and see him, pay their hard-earned money for him to play a part in the game. He didn't start, but what's the old adage? It doesn't matter how you start, it matters how you finish. That man put a bow on tonight.
Down on the pitch, Katie Witham is with Inter Miami's Noah Allen.
Well, no, you get an opportunity to start this match. You made the most of it tonight. What did you guys do so well to pull out the win?
Yeah, we just stuck to the game plan. We knew it was gonna be a hard match. Coming here away, sold out crowd, but we just stuck to the game plan. We defended hard, and we took our chances when it came to us.
You did take your chances. In fact, you assisted on Diego Gomez's goal, your 8th time coming up with the first goal of the match in the last 9 games. How did that play develop? What did you see on that?
Yeah, I saw that ball came to me, and I didn't put in the best cross, but thankfully Diego was on the other end of it, and he did an amazing finish, and it gave us some momentum to defend harder, and it ended up helping with the second goal.
You hear this crowd reacting to what you guys did, to what Lionel Messi once again did here tonight. I mean, you were on the field, you saw his goal develop, the little pass to Kremaski through traffic, and then his finish. Does anything your teammate Lionel Messi does surprise you anymore?
No, man, he's unbelievable. Every day there's something new, and it's just like, wow, you know, like on and off the field, he's just an amazing person and player. I'm so blessed to play with him.
Appreciate the time. Congrats on the win. Go celebrate.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother. He made us wait. He made the people wait. But he delivered as seemingly he always does. Lionel Messi's 11th goal in an Inter Miami kit. First in MLS play. Miami win 2-0. We'll be back to wrap it up.
There's DNA. Then there's heavy-duty DNA. HDNA. It's what every GMC Sierra HD driver is born with, and it's engineered into every aspect of the GMC Sierra HD, with the pulling power to prove it. The new 2024 GMC Sierra HD. Tow hitches of the world, prepare for glory.
How will I know where to start? Striving for more isn't just for the field, it's for life. Know more with RBC Wealth Management.
Hi, it's Major League Soccer. No, you're looking for Beckham. I'm Beck. Noah Beck.
All right, team, it's the marketing plan for 2023.
Hey, everyone. Sorry I'm late. So I have this great idea. What do we think? Hi, it's Major League Soccer. Oh, hi, Mr. Messi. Yeah, please hold. Yeah, what's up? Hi, it's MLS.
Bienvenida a casa. Welcome.
Bienvenida a casa. Thanks every time.
Rápido.
Rápido. Ferrocarril.
¿Me entiendes? Recuérdame.
Recuérdame. Bienvenida a casa. Hola, abuela. Bienvenida a casa. Diseño a tu,
Miguel, ¿recámara?
Sí.
Venga, we'll speak a lot of Spanish.
Connecting changes everything. AT&T.
New Jersey, Inter Miami with a crucial 2-0 victory. The nightcap from Leo Messi in the 89th minute, sending the Messi faithful into raptures here late on. Let's check out the highlights from this one, shall we? Kevin Egan delighted to be alongside Sasha Kleshny and Mike Petke. And this was a Reyes foul that you call rash in the moment, Sasha.
It's the dumb foul. You don't need to be that aggressive in this moment. The player is double-teamed, dribbling away from the goal. Just stand him up and force him to play backwards. Andre Reyes has that aggressiveness to his game. He can't turn it off. Leads to a foul that leads to a goal.
Yeah, that's just defending.
It's strong from Carlos Coronel. The ball gets recycled, and it's not even a good cross in from Allen, but it ends up at the feet of Gomez at the penalty spot, all alone, 1-0 Inter Miami.
For a team that relies on their pressure and the defending inside the box is a sin. A sin to allow him to turn like that and go to goal.
Lovely finish from Gomez. And Miami would celebrate. Was this a handball? Sasha?
That was the correct call for me. No penalty. Ruiz has no time to react. His arm is against the body. I'm glad with the no call there.
At this moment, Leo Messi begins to warm up. And let's face it, there were an awful lot of Leo Messi number 10 jerseys around the stadium tonight, whether it be Barcelona, Argentina, or Inter Miami. With the New York Red Bulls then looking for a way back into this game. It's 1-0 into Miami. Barlow had this massive opportunity.
And Barlow has to finish that. If the New York Red Bulls needed a moment, that was it. And then David Ruiz with the good feet to dribble out of pressure leads to the counterattack through Jordi Alba down the left side.
This was a wild sequence, a rapid counterattack from Inter Miami. And Campana nearly puts it away, Mike.
Listen, that sequence right there was unbelievable. It was one of the best sequences of the game. One end, the downfall, other end almost scores.
Mike, at this moment, you said this is the loudest you've ever heard Red Bull Arena.
Yeah, but you know what? They weren't cheering for me like that. So, you know, it was the loudest. But, you know, he comes on here. He does his walking around, analyzing, but he has chances early on. Here, Messi trying to bring it back. Listen, all it takes is one moment for Messi, and we're going to see that in a second.
Here's a foul that led to a free kick for Leo Messi, edge of the area. And this is when about 20,000 fans took out their cell phones. Try and grab a video of this one. Messi goes to the ground.
We were guilty of it too, Kevin. We got our phones out and we're ready for this moment.
We thought it was a storybook.
But these free kicks from this close are hard. You have to get it up and over the wall from that close. It's very hard. But Mike, you said this was the loudest you'd ever heard it when he subbed into the game. Well, guess what? It got a little bit louder with the most unbelievable pass you'll ever see to Cremaschi. But Messi follows up the play, and this place erupted.
Listen, I have never, in all the highlights I've seen Messi, we were talking off camera, I have never seen this pass right here. And not only that, Red Bull, what are you doing? Watching, staring the ball go wide, Messi runs by you and takes that.
But this is the Messi effect, Mike. When he gets on the ball, everybody stops and stares. They forget about the runners. Look at the body control. Look at the close control, the outside of the foot pass, and it's a tap-in for Messi. But you got to give some credit to Cremaschi as well for seeing the pass.
And you said in that moment, Sasha, that Messi is the best player in the world at following up that pass and getting on the end of the return. This, a look at Lionel Messi's night coming in the 60th minute alongside Sergio Busquets and DeAndre Yedlin. Not too many touches, very effective in the final third. Delighted you're with us here late, folks, here on Apple TV. Kevin Egan, thrilled to be alongside former Red Bulls manager in Mike Pecky and Red Bulls legend Sasha Kleshman. We're having fun here tonight. All in all, Miami, well, they needed a win. It has to be a miracle climb to make the playoffs, but they get it done.
It's a massive win for Inter Miami. They came in here and they were the better team. They controlled the game. When Messi got in, of course, they had to sit back in that 5-4-1 and defend, but Tata Martino got the changes right tonight.
Another brilliant performance in goal for Drake Callender, who's now standing by with Arcady with him.
Drake, another win under your belt, another shutout performance from you. What is it that Miami did well tonight?
I think we were able to carry the momentum from the previous Leagues Cup and Open Cup games into tonight. We knew it was going to be a difficult game playing away here at New York Red Bull. Great team, very aggressive, high-pressing team. So we knew we had a lot in for it, a lot of it in for us tonight. And I think the team came out with that mentality to win.
And it was a different team, a different look Miami team than what we've seen. A lot of players getting an opportunity and making the most of their opportunity. What can you say about what you saw just across the board from these guys? And then again, Messi doing Messi things.
Yeah, well, a lot of guys stepped up tonight. And like you said, it's a big opportunity for players to get minutes. And playing so many games that, that just happens in this league where you're going to have to rotate. And the players that played tonight, congrats to them. I think they did a great job. To step up, especially away game where we are in the season. This game meant a lot to us in terms of getting points, so big props to my team tonight.
Big Eastern Conference points, big win. Drake, congratulations. Appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think the key point there from Drake Callender, the winning mentality of this group right now under Tata Martino, Mike. What about those tired legs? It's something the three of us were speaking about during that second half. It seemed very evident.
Well, of course it did. But, there were players who had opportunities today to step in. For a number of players, they changed. And for the most part, I thought they stepped up and they did well. I thought Miami done the run of play for most of 99% of the game. Very disappointed with Red Bull's performance. And actually tip my hat a little bit to how Miami came in and managed this game.
Miami will have a lot to manage now down the stretch here in Major League Soccer. But Messi and Miami off to a great start with the return of MLS play. We're going to take a look around the league on a busy, busy night here in MLS. Next.
You can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
Can they handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah, road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by like a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
The fully electric Audi e-tron family is here. With models that fit any lifestyle and innovative ways to make your e-tron your own. Through elegant design and progressive technology, all the exhilaration, none